In the beginning of the drama, Lina was saying that the boy comes to this bar every night, sits on the corner seat, and orders the same drink. No one here knows that this lonely-looking boy is the only heir of the Chusher group. With his help, I will be able to get rid of my useless family. Well, his name is Jian. This is our main lead, Jian. Jian looks at Lina and says that this girl comes here every night. Who knows how unhappy she must be in her life, that only alcohol can make her feel better. 10 years ago, I left you alone. But now I will fix everything, and I will never let you go away from me again. This is the female lead of the drama, Lina. Earlier, Lina had hired a man. She tells him that when I come out of the washroom and go toward that corner, that is when you have to start your acting. Then Lina, acting drunk, walks toward the washroom. As she was coming out of the washroom, that boy comes and starts teasing her. Lina says to him that you started acting a little too early. He says, didn't you tell me to start acting when I come out of the toilet? She says, I told you to start acting when I go toward that corner. Now come on, continue. When that boy starts teasing her, Jian comes and helps her. Well, this is exactly what Lina wanted. Then she takes Jian to a room in the same bar and says that my sister and my boyfriend were together, and I saw them on this very bed. They had been cheating on me for so long, and I didn't even know about it. After saying this, as she moves forward to kiss him, Jian does not let her kiss him. She says, don't you like me? Hearing this, Jian says, don't regret it later. In the next scene, after properly making Lina sleep, he himself was sleeping in the bathtub. He says that for the past 10 years, I have been searching for you. There is no question of disliking you. As soon as he falls asleep, he gets a bad dream. When he was little, someone had kidnapped him. Just as the kidnapper was about to kill him, Jian suddenly opens his eye. He sees that Lina is also awake. Seeing the surroundings, Lina thinks that I have done that kind of scandal. She asks him, don't you have any disease or something? He says that you can check it yourself. Lina gives him some money and says that this is your payment for last night's service. He says that I don't want money, I want you. She says that this is impossible. Jian notices that this girl has forgotten her ID card here along with the money. He says, now I have your address, so where will you run and escape? Well, Lina had dropped her ID card on purpose. She says that now everything is going according to the plan. In a flashback, we are shown that when Jian was kidnapped and kept in a broken, warehouse-like place, Lina came there and saved him. Remembering all this, he says that now it is my turn. This time, I will save you. When Lina reaches home, her dad shouts at her, where were you last night? You did not reply to any of my calls or messages. What were you doing? Do you even know that Mr. Guja has been waiting for you for so long? This is Guja, Lina's boyfriend, and the one sitting next to him is Lina's stepsister. Her name is Sulin. Sulin says, Dad, these days she is getting more and more spoiled. After saying this, she touches Guja in a very suggestive way. Seeing this, Lina says that I am not so spoiled that I would have an affair with my own brother-in-law. Sulin says, what proof do you have? Do you want to accuse me that I am having an affair with Guja? Hearing this, Lina sends photos to the phones of all 3 of them. After seeing this, Dad starts getting angry at Lina instead. Guja says that I do not like a cunning woman like you at all. I was just talking to Sulin for a while, but you misunderstood it as if we were having an affair. Lina says, yes, you both seem to talk very well even on the bed. Her dad says, who knows where you got this useless photo from? Quickly apologize to Mr. Guja. Lina thinks that Dad also knows about Sulin and Guja, but still he is asking me to apologize. She refuses to apologize. Seeing this, Guja becomes very angry at her. As he was leaving, Dad stops him and says, at least eat food before you go. But Guja makes a face like a rotten eggplant and walks away from there. Lina's dad says, do you even know what you have done? Guja is like a gold mine for us, so can you not talk to him properly? Just then, her stepmother comes there and says that day by day she is becoming even more spoiled. She spoke rudely to Guja and did not even apologize to him. Throw her out of the house. Her dad says, I will teach her a lesson. Saying this, he slaps her and says, get out of my house. On the other hand, Jian's assistant comes and says that your car and clothes are ready. He tells him that from now on, do not talk to me with so much respect. Instead, behave like a friend because I want to stay low profile. The assistant says, do you mean that girl? You used to go to the bar every day just to see her, so were you successful? Then Jian says that she told me that she does not like rich boys even a little. She hates rich boys. Hearing this, the assistant says, oh, so that is why you said you want to live like a poor person. Jian tells him, bring me information about Guja. He says, okay boss, I will go and get his full background right now and then sit comfortably with it. Jian says, do not do anything unnecessary. I will handle this matter myself. He touched my woman, so I will punish him myself. Meanwhile, Lina was packing her belongings. Looking at her mother's photo, she says, "Mom, Dad once said that after getting both of us, he felt like the luckiest person in the world. He said that he was very happy with us, but all of that was a lie. Now he is very happy with that other woman. In your next life, please do not meet such a worthless man." Just then, Sulin comes there and says, "Guja and I have been in love with each other for a very long time. Guja told me that you do not even let him touch you. Forget about kissing him. That is why he dumped you. Now he is very happy with me." Hearing this, Lina says to her, "Do you know why I work till late at night? Because I do not like hearing your dirty voice." Sulin says, "What do you mean by that?" She says, "From the moment I saw both of you together on the bed, I decided that I do not want a gutter worm like Guja in my life again. You can keep him with you." After saying this, when she comes outside with her luggage, Jian arrives there. She thinks he really got trapped in my net. Going close to him, she says, "Were you following me? But let me tell you, do not even try to flirt with me. You are not my type." He says, "Look, you are misunderstanding something." She asks him, "Are you really an electrician?" He says, "Yes, I was not enjoying working there, so I left the job. By the way, I have an engineering degree. I am not very good at talking to people, so this job suits me." She thinks, could it be that the Chusher family threw him out of the house, and that is why he is working as an electrician? She asks him, "Where is my ID card?" He says, "Sorry, now I do not remember where I kept it." She gets very angry and says, "Stop acting and return my ID card right now." He gives her the ID card and says, "Last night you said that you do not want to live with your family. If you want, you can stay here with me." She says, "I do not like my family, but what is that to you? Mind your own business. You have no right to judge my life." Jian says, "Look, that is not what I meant. You are misunderstanding. I just want to help you. Whatever happened between us last night, I will take responsibility for it." In the next scene, Lina says that there is no need for that. Jian says that I have started liking you very much, and I want to help you. I do not have any bad intentions toward you. If you agree to stay here, then I will go and live somewhere else. Lina says, "Just now you were talking about responsibility, so did you mean that you would let me stay in your house?" He says, "Yes, this house is very suitable for you. From here, your company is only 15 minutes away, and also my house has everything that you might need." Hearing this, Lina says, "How did you find out which company I work for?" He thinks I am finished now, but then he says, "Last night you were drunk, and that is when you told me." Lina says that when I find a new house, I will leave your place. But there is only one bed here, so where will you sleep? He says, "What about me? I can sleep anywhere." Then he says that I will go and live in the basement. Lina thinks that he is a president and very rich. But then why is he pretending to be poor like this? In a flashback, we are shown that Guja was saying to Lina's dad that you are rushing too much for the marriage. Lina's dad tells him that your cousin is about to return from abroad. If he comes here, he will transfer the company to his own name. Before that happens, you should marry my daughter. This will be very good for both of us. Guja says, "Why should I marry that girl? She does not even let me kiss her." From a distance, Lina had heard all of this. In the next scene, she was telling her friend that I am going to trap the heir of the Chusher group because he is the only person who can help me get free from this useless family. Meanwhile, Jian receives all the information about Guja. His assistant says that you should prepare a little before meeting him because Guja is well prepared. When Jian goes to meet him, he says to Guja that as soon as you joined the company, you started doing whatever you wanted. You changed the supplier of the sales order. Tell me, on whose orders did you do this? Did you ask me for permission before doing all this? If something had gone wrong, would you have taken responsibility for it? Jian says to him that for the past 1 year, none of your projects have made any profit for the company. Instead, they have only caused losses. Did you take responsibility for that? And before selecting your employees, do you even learn about them? All of them are busy ruining the company's name. Hearing this, Guja becomes very angry at him. He says, "Now just watch what I do to you." After that, Guja goes to meet Miss Bai, who is Sulin's mother. She tells him that Jian has started turning your people to his side. If you do not do something in time, you will be ruined. It will not even take a second for him to throw you out of the company. In the next scene, Jian was cooking food when suddenly the electricity goes out. Jian says, "Do not be scared. I will call someone right now to fix it." Lina says to him, "But were you not an electrician? Then why do you not fix it yourself?" He says, "Yes, I will go and fix it right now," but he did not even know where the switchboard was. Lina points toward it and says that the switchboard is here. Jian did not even know how to open it, so Lina moves him aside and opens the switchboard herself to check what the problem is. She takes out the fuse and says that it has blown. "You will have to go and bring a new one." When Jian goes outside, she follows him. Meanwhile, Jian had bought an electrical engineering book along with the fuse, and he was learning everything by reading it. After coming back, when he fixes the electricity, she asks him why he took so long to return. Where were you and what were you doing? Jian is not able to say anything, so she says, are you mute? Hearing the word mute, his trauma starts increasing again, and suddenly his stomach begins to hurt. Lina asks him, are you okay? He says that my stomach is hurting. I am going outside to get medicine. I have already cooked the food. You can eat it. After Jian leaves, Lina looks at the food once, and then she starts worrying about him, wondering what suddenly happened to him. The next day in the morning, when she wakes up, Jian was painting. She goes near him and asks, did you sleep well last night? Suddenly, Jian starts kissing her, and she quickly wakes up with a shock because all of that was just her dream. Jian says to her, come here. The food is ready. She thinks that I have grown up so much, yet I still get dreams like this. Lina says to him that you are unemployed right now, so will you just stay at home? Go and give interviews. He says that I do have an interview today. Lina thinks that he is lying again. She asks him, where is the interview? Why don't I come with you? He quickly says no. That place is very far away. Looking at the food, she asks, did you learn all this abroad? He says, what? I was in China. I never went abroad. She says, maybe you learned all this just now, and she almost catches him. Meanwhile, Jian finds a chance and calls his assistant. He says, quickly prepare for an interview. The assistant asks, yes, but whose interview do I have to take? Jian says, mine. Lina has started doubting me, so you just pretend to take my interview. When Lina comes back, he asks her, which company do you want to work in? What is your dream job? She tells him that I want to work in the Chusher group. Hearing this, Jian starts sweating because that is his own company. She says, I have heard that the new CEO of the Chusher group is very good and capable. All the employees were praising him a lot and saying that he respects everyone. I feel that working under a boss like him would be good. He asks her, where did you find out about this new CEO? She says, in the newspaper. He says, these reporters write anything in the newspaper these days. Do not believe everything written there. By the way, didn't you say that you hate rich people? She says, yes, I do, but it depends, because not all rich people are bad. Poor Jian starts feeling jealous of himself, but before he can show his jealousy, he gets a call from his assistant. The assistant begins praising Jian a lot, using very fancy words for him, so Jian quickly cuts the call and thinks that today he would have exposed me. Meanwhile, Guja was sitting in his office and looking at photos of girls. Just then, he receives a gift. Inside it was a note that said, come meet me at the hotel tonight. Yours, Sulin. After reading this, he becomes very excited. On the other hand, Sulin comes to Lina and says that today I am going to propose to Guja. After that, you will have no status left. Dad has already thrown you out of the house, and soon he will remove you from the family as well. Lina says, that will be even better. Anyway, who wants to be a part of such a useless family? Hearing this, Sulin makes an annoyed face and walks toward her desk. When she reaches there, she also receives a gift. Inside it was a note that said, come meet me at the hotel tonight. Yours, Guja. After reading this, she also becomes excited. From a distance, Lina was watching her, which means that this whole plan was hers. In the next scene, when both of them are in the hotel room, suddenly the company employees start arriving there and begin making videos after seeing them together. Lina's best friend says, Sulin, you turned out to be very shameless. You are doing all this in a hotel room with your own sister's boyfriend. Guja says, I did nothing. She forced me. She was the one doing all this. I did nothing. Saying this, he runs away from there. Lina tells everyone that this is our family matter, so please leave from here. After that, Lina says to her, I told you to control yourself a little, but anyway, this was bound to happen. Sulin says, I know that you did all of this on purpose. Saying this, she moves forward to hit her. Jian was waiting for Lina to return. When she comes back, Jian sees that she is very angry. But after noticing her injury, he asks, who did this to you? Tell me the name. Lina says that no one did anything wrong to me. I just fell from the stairs. But he feels that Guja hit her and that she does not want to tell him. Seeing this, Jian gets a little angry, but then he starts taking care of her like a caring boyfriend. He says, from tomorrow you will not go to work. Stay at home. From today, I will take full responsibility for you. She says to him, you are already very poor, so will you be able to afford my expenses? Hearing this, Jian becomes silent. Then she says, all men are the same. In the beginning, they act very nice, but when their purpose is over, They start treating us like an option. You are just like them, and you have also told me many lies. Hearing this, he becomes even more speechless. In the next scene, he goes to meet Guja in his CEO look. He says to Guja that, so you do not have to dance on Sulan's mother's signals. I will give you my 30% shares. Hearing this, Guja says, why have you suddenly become so nice to me? What is the matter? He says, this is your last chance. I will not ask you again. Hearing this, Guja says okay, but what will I have to do for you in return? He says, you will have to. Lina. But just then, Shaz arrives there. She says to Guja that he is just fooling you. He will not give you any 30% shares. Hearing this, Guja leaves from there in anger. After Guja leaves, Shaz says to him, Jian, you truly disappointed me this time. Were you doing all this for a girl? If you had just given that Guja 30% shares, he would have ruined the company. It is good that I arrived on time. By the way, the Shaz is Jian's fiancé. Jian's dad had fixed their marriage when they were children. The next day, everyone in the company found out about that video. All the employees were laughing at Guja and making fun of him. This matter even reaches the board meeting. After watching this video, Shaz becomes very angry at Guja. Guja says that all of this is fake. Someone played a prank on me. This is not me. Then the other board members also start explaining to Shaz one by one that Mr. Guja is not this kind of person. This video must be fake. Someone must have used AI to put his face on it. Guja says, all of you please give me one chance. I want to prove my innocence. At the upcoming party, I will bring my girlfriend with me. Meanwhile, Jian was working when Shoji comes to him. She says that right now you are collecting evidence against Guja. If you need my help in this work, you can tell me. Jian wanted to talk about the marriage, but she says, you can stay with whichever girl you like. I am not that old-fashioned. On the other hand, Lina's dad comes to her. He was praising her a lot, so Lina says, please come straight to the point. He says that Guja has cancelled all our projects. If this continues, our company will go bankrupt, so you help me. Go to the party and tell everyone that Guja is your boyfriend. She says that I am not going to do anything like that. Then he kneels down right there on the road and says that if you do not agree, I will not stand up from here. Seeing all this, people start saying bad things to Lina, asking what kind of daughter lets her own father kneel like this. They begin insulting her. Lina says, Dad, please stand up. I will agree to what you are saying. When she comes home, Jian applies medicine on her injury. She asks him, is your girlfriend very beautiful? He says, I do not have any girlfriend. I am totally single, but there is one girl in my eyes whom I want to make my girlfriend. Lina understands that he is talking about her. He tells her that this medicine is very effective and her injury will heal soon. She asks, have you used it before? He says yes, many times, because in childhood I was bullied a lot. Hearing this, she becomes a little silent. The next day, Sulan's mother and her dad were both praising their daughter in front of a rich man. Meanwhile, Jian also goes to the party alone and sits there, but just then he sees that Guja has brought Lina with him. Seeing this, he hides himself. Guja gathers everyone and says, this is my girlfriend. You all want to know the truth about that video, right? Today my girlfriend will tell you everything. Lina comes forward and says to everyone that the person I love is kind and brave. He is not only tall and handsome, but also very sweet. Recently, I upset him, and seeing him upset made me sad too. At that moment, I realized that I had fallen in love with him. Guja comes close to her and says in a low voice, that is enough now. This is getting too much. But Lina was actually talking about Jian. She says that very soon I am going to marry that boy. Guja says, when did I say that I would marry you? By talking about marriage, you have crossed the limit. She says, I also have no desire to marry you. I want to marry him. Saying this, she points toward Jian. Hearing this, everyone becomes very shocked. Lina says that the video was absolutely real. Guja is a #1 cheater and a shameless type of man. I myself saw Guja on the same bed with my own sister, and when I was going to my friend's birthday party with all the employees. That is when this video was recorded, and all of them saw both of them together. Sulan says, have you gone mad? Her dad says, I am sorry. My daughter watches a little too much drama these days. That is why she said that she is going to marry Jian. Her stepmother says that you have not only insulted Guja, but also Jian. Get out of here. Everyone starts shouting at her to get out, but just then Jian comes there and suddenly kisses Lina. Everyone's reactions were worth watching. Poor Guja almost gets a heart attack. He says, Lina, I did not know that you were this shameless. I thought you were innocent, but you turned out to be a clever fox. I will definitely take revenge on you for this. Jian says, you will not get a chance to take revenge. Saying this, he throws many pieces of evidence toward them. Now everyone finds out about Guja's dark deed and how much fraud he had done in the company. All of them decide to throw Guja out of the company. In the next scene, Lina angrily says to him, "Do you think I am a fool? Would I not understand that you were pretending?" He says, "That day you said that you hate rich people, so I pretended to be poor. I like you very much and want you to always stay with me. I know that because of whatever happened to you, you do not trust anyone easily, but I want you to trust me. You just talked about marriage, and I am serious about that too." Lina says, "I only talked about marriage because I wanted to get rid of Guja and my family, so do not take it so seriously." Hearing this, Jian feels a little hurt. After that, in the next scene, her friend says to her that if I were in Jian's place, I would never want to see you again. Jian is such a good person. He is doing so much for you, so why don't you just say yes to him? Lina says that I want to play hard to get with him a little longer. In a flashback, we are shown that when Lina was returning home from school, she saw that a child had been kidnapped and was being badly bullied by a man. When that man leaves from there, Lina goes inside, breaks his chains, and brings that child outside. At that time, Jian saw Lina for the first time. He says that at that time you saved me, so now it is my turn. When Lina comes home, Jian proposes marriage to her. She says, "We have not even known each other for that long, so how did you directly start thinking about marriage?" Jian says, "I like you. From the very first time I saw you, I felt this way. I know you do not believe in love at first sight, but something like that happened with me. When I saw you again, I started worrying about you, and I wanted you to always stay with me and remain completely safe. Look, I am not forcing you to marry me, but until you agree, I will keep asking you. If you do not say yes today, I will ask you again tomorrow. If you reject me tomorrow, I will ask you the day after. Until you say yes to me, I am not going to stop." Hearing this, she suddenly kisses him and says, "I am ready." Hearing this, Jian becomes very happy and makes her wear a ring. Then he says, "Resign from the place where you work and come to my office. There you can work as my personal secretary, so I will be able to see you every day." The next day, both of them go shopping for their wedding. Lina says that I have no intention of having a grand wedding. Look, I do not like showing off at all. I love you and want to live with you. That is all that matters to me. When she comes out wearing her wedding dress, she looks very beautiful. After that, their wedding photoshoot takes place, and then both of them officially register their marriage. Later, Jian was putting up their wedding photos in the house when she says to him, "Help me dry my hair." But then she thinks that because of Jian, I am starting to forget my real purpose. The next day in the morning, when she wakes up, Jian was not at home. He had made breakfast for her before leaving. Just then, someone comes there to meet Jian. The man says, "I built this house, so I hope you are not having any problems here." She asks, "Did you build this house?" The man says yes, but the design was given to me by Jian. After seeing that design, Lina remembers that the child she had saved was actually Jian. When both of them were running away from there, the kidnapper caught them again. At that time, Lina had made this drawing so that she could improve Jian's mood. Jian was a little scared, so she tells him, "Do not worry, my mom will come and save both of us." After that, both of them again try to escape from the kidnapper, and while they are running, Lina's mother sees them like this. As she was coming toward Lina, she suddenly meets with an accident on the way. Seeing her mother in that condition, Lina starts crying a lot. She says to Jian, "Please help me." But he sees that the kidnapper is still chasing him, so he runs away from there. Lina says, that means the little boy was actually Jian. In the next scene, she was telling all of this to her best friend. Her best friend says, "Does Jian want to stay with you because of guilt? From what I see now, it feels like you did not trap him. Instead, you are getting trapped in his net." Lina says, "I also feel that he left me that day, and maybe he regrets it, which is why he has returned to my life again." The next day, Lina was working when Shiz comes to her and says, "You are my secretary now, so stop doing this old work." She says, "The last report is still left, so I was just finishing it." Meanwhile, in the board meeting, Jian was telling everyone that they should break their contracts with some companies because those companies are not making any profit for them. Both Guja and Miss Bai were benefiting from those companies, so they stopped Jian from doing this and begin opposing him. Then Jian shows everyone some evidence and says that fraud is happening inside these companies, and we do not need to work with such companies. After the meeting ends, Shiz says to Jian, "Today you did something amazing." Meanwhile, Lina came into Jian's office. First, she looks around the place, but then she starts snooping. In the process, she accidentally knocks down the company seal. Just then, Shoji arrives. She had come to get some papers signed by Jian, but seeing Lina like that, she says, "Why do you have the company seal? It is against company rules to touch anything in the director's office. Don't you know that?" At that moment, Jian walks in. Taking the papers from her hand, he says, "If you don't have any other work with me, you may leave." Hearing this, Shoji angrily walks away. Lina says, "I'm sorry, I dropped your seal." He replies, "It's okay. What is mine is yours too." Saying this, he stamps the seal for her. Meanwhile, Shoji is talking to someone on the phone, saying, "Bring me all the information about Lina, because I don't think that girl is right." Just then, Miss Bai comes and starts influencing her, saying, "You like Jian, but you haven't told him because you're afraid of rejection. But look, now he's even married and probably doesn't care about you anymore. Yet you still like him. If this continues, you might even become his enemy one day. You can come to me then." Shoji replies, "If you're done talking, then get lost." When Lina returns to her desk, she finds that someone has broken her chair. The girl sitting beside her, instead of giving proper instructions, starts bullying her. Seeing this, Lina calls Jian and says, "My chair is broken. Please get it replaced." Shortly after, Jian himself brings his own chair for her. Everyone is shocked to see this. People start thinking that this girl must be very special to the president since he personally came to replace her chair. The girl who had just been bullying her begins to fuss over her, asking, "What would you like? Something cold or hot? Tea or coffee?" From a distance, Guja is watching all of this. He comes up to Lina and says, "Do you think that after marrying Jian you must be enjoying life? But let me tell you, as long as Shoji is here, that won't be possible. You should go back to your old job. Being a secretary isn't for you. Because if you stay here, you'll have to see Shoji with Jian every day. I've even heard they're always together. They've been childhood friends." Saying this, he leaves after sparking jealousy, and judging by Lina's expression, the fire had already been lit. In the next scene, at night, she checks Jian's PC and learns that immediately after her mother's death, Jian's father had given money to Miss Bai. When Shoji finds out about Lina, she goes to Jian and says, "I knew your wife wasn't right. She married you on purpose. Not only has she interfered with company matters, but I feel she might ruin your life too." Jian replies, "Lina isn't that kind of person. I trust her. She wouldn't do anything like that." Hearing this, Shoji shouts, "You're blinded by love. Can't you see your wife is cheating on you?" As she yells, her health begins to worsen, so Jian quickly gives her medicine. Just then, Lina arrives. Seeing them together, she gets angry, but Shoji says, "You must have some motive for coming to this company. Tell us quickly." Lina replies, "You're absolutely right." A flashback reveals that the car which hit Lina's mother had Miss Bai inside, and it wasn't an accident. She deliberately killed her. Lina's father is later shown mourning in front of his wife's photo, saying, "That woman killed you, but now I'm going to marry her because she's offering me a lot of money. With it, I can restart my company and send my daughter Lina to a good college." From a distance, Lina overhears everything and realizes that Miss Bai was responsible for her mother's death. The next day, Shoji meets Jian, but he keeps the conversation strictly work-related and says, "I don't want my wife to misunderstand anything about us." Shoji replies, "When you were abroad, you sent me a gift every year on my birthday, but not today." He apologizes, saying he was busy and forgot. She then says, "It's my birthday, will you spend the whole day with me?" He refuses, saying he has work. Just then, Lina arrives and overhears their conversation. After work hours, Lina goes out for drinks with her best friend because she feels very jealous seeing Jian and Shoji together. Later, her friend drops her home. Seeing her drunk, Jian asks, "Why did you drink so much?" She says, "I'm upset." He asks who made her angry so he can teach them a lesson. She replies, "You did. That Shoji is always hovering around you. Do you like her? You can't like her. You're my husband." Jian realizes she's jealous and says, "I don't like Shoji, so please stop being angry." She calls him an idiot and says, "Today is Chinese Valentine's Day. I wanted to spend the whole day with you, but you were busy working." He apologizes, saying he didn't understand. Meanwhile, Shoji is preparing for her birthday party and has decided she'll propose to Jian that day. She messages him to come meet her. Lina asks why Shoji wants to meet him and answers herself, "Because she likes you." Jian replies to Shoji that he won't be coming because his wife wouldn't allow it. Then Lina kisses him and asks directly, "Do you prefer girls with long hair or short hair?" Looking at Lina, Jian answers, "Long hair." Hearing this, she says, "Liar. It's girls with short hair like Shoji that you like." Saying this, she starts cutting her hair, but Jian stops her. In the process, his hand gets injured. Lina asks, "Are you okay?" Suddenly, He kisses her and says, I only like you. Other than you, I don't like any girl. Meanwhile, Shoji is crying because Jian didn't come to meet her. The next day, through Shoji, Lina learns that her father has tampered with the products being manufactured in his factory. Later, this issue is discussed in the company's board meeting. Everyone questions Miss Bai. Why did your husband do this? It could cause the company financial losses. She replies, I've divorced Lina's father. I have nothing to do with him anymore. If he has done something wrong, go ask him. And whatever financial loss the company has suffered, demand the money from him. Not me. I have no connection with him now. Jian thinks to himself, this woman is extremely cunning. When trouble came, she immediately washed her hands of it. Lina goes to talk to Jian about her father, but Shoji arrives with bar footage in her hand. She tells Jian, you think your wife is pure and innocent. But that's not true. She had her eyes on you from the beginning and approached you deliberately. All the evidence is in this pen drive. You should watch it once. However, Jian takes the pen drive from her and breaks it, saying, I trust my wife. Lina was very scared at first, but when Jian broke the pen drive, she felt relieved. Jian tells her, go home, I'll be there soon. After she leaves, Shoji says to him, can't you see that she deliberately came close to you? There must be some reason behind it. Either she wants to ruin you or the company. Jian tells her, from now on, don't interfere between us. She is my wife, and I trust her. She would never do anything like that. Lina goes to meet her father. Now he has become completely bankrupt. He tells her, you are my daughter, so you must help me. The people from Chusher Group have filed a case against me, and they are demanding a lot of money. Lina replies, if you hadn't married Miss Bai, maybe I would have helped you. Her father says, Miss Bai was giving me a lot of money in exchange for marriage, so I married her. Anyway, you did something similar with Jian. You married him because he is a president. But these days, I see that both of you are getting very close to each other. She says, I married Jian to take revenge, and I don't love him. As soon as my revenge is over, I will tell him everything and divorce him. From a distance, Jian and Shoji hear all of this. Shoji tells him, I already warned you. Your wife is just using you. If you weren't the president of the company, she wouldn't have married you. Shoji keeps muttering, but Jian becomes very hurt after hearing everything and walks away. After Jian leaves, Lina's father comes there and says, I did exactly what you told me to do. Now give me my money. Shoji gives him the money and says, don't ever show your face to me again. When Lina returns home, Jian is very drunk. He tells her, that day at the bar, you weren't actually drunk. You did all that with me on purpose. She replies, you also lied to me many times. 10 years ago. Why did you leave me back then? I needed you the most at that time, but you weren't there. He replies, I'm sorry. I was very scared at that time, so I ran away and left you. She says, I admit that I used you for revenge, and I know that it hurt you. So let's get divorced. Hearing the word divorce, tears filled Jian's eye. Lina takes off her wedding ring and says, I'll move out tomorrow, and then leaves. Jian says, why can't you understand me? I already forgave you for using me. My only sorrow is that you don't love me. The next day when Jian returns home, Lina is still there. She hands him the divorce agreement and says, I've signed it. You should sign it too. Jian tears the papers apart and says, I won't divorce you. She replies, my dad has a case against him, and I'm going to save him. If my mom were alive, she would have done the same. After saying this, she takes her belongings and leaves. The story then jumps 3 weeks ahead. Miss Bai tells Lina's father that Jian's father, Yisili, was loved by her, but he never paid attention to her. So she married Lina's father in order to have a child and later make that child the heir of the Chusher Group. But Yisili never did that. The daughter farm project that was in Miss Bai's hands was instead given to Lina's mother, who also worked for Chusher Group. When Miss Bai found out, she became furious and killed Lina's mother. Lina's father says, you shouldn't have killed my wife like that. She replies, if I hadn't killed your wife, Yisili wouldn't have given me any money. After Sulin was born, I thought Yisili would make her the heir, but then he found his real son, Jian. Once he found him, he cut all ties with me. For him, only his son mattered. I was extremely angry, and I vowed that one day I would punish Yisili for what he did, and I wouldn't spare his son either. When Jian was abroad, I secretly prepared Guja so that he could compete with Jian. Now everything is under my control. Soon I will throw Jian out of the company, and that is how I will take revenge on Yisili. Later, Lina's father goes to meet her and says, your husband has withdrawn the case and even paid all the compensation. Lina is shocked to hear this. Meanwhile, The assistant tells Jian, "You suffered losses just to help Lina's father. Have you become so blind in love?" Just then, Lina calls him and says, "I betrayed you and used you. Are you doing all this to make me feel guilty? You really are an idiot. What will you tell the board members?" He asks, "Where are you right now?" Lina replies, "I'm at home." Hearing this, he rushes home. She asks him, "Why did you save my dad?" "I betrayed you. You should hate me. Are you doing all this out of guilt?" He answers, "I love you, so I want to help you, and I don't want to see you sad. Yes, I do feel guilty for leaving you alone when you needed me the most, but what I'm doing now is because I want to see you happy." Crying, Lina says, "After my mother died, you are the person who cared for me the most. That's why I don't want you to get into trouble because of me." She apologizes to him, and then they share a kiss. With this, the misunderstanding between them is resolved. Afterward, Jian fixes the mess that Lina's father had created. Now only Guja and Miss Spy were left to be dealt with. Later, Guja calls Lina to meet him and says, "I want you to buy some of my shares." She replies, "You should discuss this with Jian or Miss Spy, not me." Guja says, "Miss Spy will never agree, and I don't want to give my shares to Jian." When Lina returns home, she tells Jian everything. He says, Guja has been gambling in casinos and has piled up huge debt. He wants to sell his shares to repay them. Looks like he's destroying himself. We don't even need to do anything. Now the only one left was Miss Spy. The next day, Jian gathers all the evidence and goes to the board meeting, where he exposes her. He reveals that she not only committed fraud in the company, but also murdered Lina's mother and even had Lina kidnapped. As a result, Miss Spy is sent to jail. After this, when Shoji comes to Jian's office, she sees him packing his belongings. He says, "I have already submitted my resignation letter. You are now the new president of this company. I want to spend some time with my wife, so I am leaving." Shoji does not stop him because she has finally given up on Jian. At the end of the story, Lina and Jian go to the same tea farm that once belonged to Lina's mother, the place where they first met. Jian tells her, "Your revenge is finally over, and now no one will be able to bully you." And with this, the drama comes to an end. The only thing I did not understand at the end is why Jian resigned. I mean, everything was going well, and now he has become unemployed again. That's where the video ends. Before leaving, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.